Okay, so really quickly, I'm going to show how I've been checking that my OCRed tables from the original registrar data scans are correct. So this is the original tables from 1970 to 1971 of the registrar data. Each page has its own table. There's one fall and one spring for each school. We've got the undergraduate school, and then we go on to the professional schools and the graduate school. And I've got my copies, or at least my OCR tables in this Google Sheets, which is just my preference, but if you are someone who prefers Excel, it should be similar. So for me, I chose to do each one of these pages down here with F or S for the semester, and then whatever school it is appended to that. So the way that I check to make sure all of these are correct is I go over here, and I don't want to spend time checking each individual cell. So what I do is I have a check column and I have a check row. So in my check column, I've got a long conditional statement right here. You can tell it's a conditional because it starts with if. And in Google Sheets, if statements have three parts. They have a conditional. That's the part that you check to see if it's true. That's all of this right there, actually. And then it's got a part to see, that's what it will print if the conditional results in true. So I have just good. And then it's got a part that will print if the conditional returns false. So I have bad, bad, fix, error. I just chose that arbitrarily because if it does return false, I want to be able to see it really well, and that's long, so it will stick out. So the conditional here is an and statement, and that means that each one of these has to be true in order for the entire and statement to return true. So each one of these is an equals statement. The first equals statement checks if women's college plus nurses returns total women. You can tell that's here because it's got EQ for equals. It's got sum B2 through C2, so that's women's college plus nurses. And then it compares that to D2, total women. So that's our first one. The next equals statement compares the sum of School of Engineering and Trinity College to total men. And then the final equals statement compares total women plus total men to grand total. So if all of those are equal, the math is all correct. It should print good. So once you've got that, you can click and drag. I've already dragged, but just as a demonstration. And it will extend down that way. These all say good, but if we have them wrong, for example, maybe this 3 read in as an 8, then that will throw bad, bad, fix, error. And in the case of that, I would just go in here. I would look for that. That's Arkansas under grand total. Oh, it's a 3. I would go enter 3, and it would fix itself automatically. So the row over here, a little bit more straightforward. You could make it a conditional, but I just didn't feel like it. That just sums this column, not including the total, and then you extend that off this way, and then check them against each other. And those should all be exactly the same with the exception of these two, since this has an asterisk referring to that it includes 4 women engineers. So one of the really nice things about this is that once you have a column that has this formula, you can go to another page that has the same formula, or the same format. And you can see these have the same columns and rows. So I can just go in and I can paste that column in, and it won't paste the values, it will paste the formulas. So I can see like here, there's a line, New Hampshire. I guess it doesn't like the way that adds up for some reason. Maybe if I had a 0. Yeah, I don't know what the issue is there. And then here I've got another one that it doesn't like. There's another one there. Yeah, so I've clearly got issues on this sheet that I need to go through and check. Lastly, there's a similar one over here. It's a much more simple sheet because once you get down to the professional schools, it just has men, women in total. So over here, I just have if the sum of men and women equals the total, then it's good. I've only got one bad here, I think. Yep. And that is 5 plus 3 equals 3. Obviously not. We know that's an 8. We could also go through and check here. That's DC. Yep, 5, 3, 8. So that changes to good. And that makes all of these add up. So once I've gone through and verified all of those, a common thing that you'll see with cleaning processes and wrangling processes with these data sheets is that people will add tags to the end of their data files to indicate what process or what step of the process they're in. I've got some that say cleaned, I've got some that say OCR. Once I'm done verifying that all of these are correct, I'll add OCR underscore verified, like I've already fixed this one. So I have OCR underscore verified, and that lets me know what I've verified to be correct. And I think that's all.